and faster in action.
All the style. New style.
Master Oba has lived through these developments.
All the style.
He knew the masters who initiated them and the long arguments that divided the world of Aikido. There are now two main schools. One, the school of Master Ueshiba, has rejected the sporting way. The other follows the teachings of Master Tomiki, who led the movement for change.
Tomiki 先生が合気道競技始めました。しかし今まで合気道をやっておった先生方は富木先生のやることに賛成しません。誰も集まってきません。今は若い人たちがこの恋のように、たくさんに集まって合気道、ヤングメン、でたくさんに今試合をやってみんなやるようになりました。これから合気道はますますそういうふうにして若い人たちの中に発展していくと思います。それから9年過ぎた人、体の女の体であんまり強くないような人、そういう人たちは型をしっかりやりながら合気道のやり方もだんだんに覚えていくようにしたいと思います。そして上柴先生の技と富木先生の技とこれをずっと両方2つを伸ばしていくようにしたいと思っております。
Aikido is now purely a defensive system, where every move is taught as a reaction to an attacker. The defender almost never hits the attacker, but relies on throwing, pinning, and immobilizing techniques, as well as pressing nerve centers and other vital points. A very sophisticated knowledge of the ways in which the joints of the arms and legs won't bend lies at the heart of Aikido. Practicing the fighting techniques also instills calmness and relaxation. You can't be thrown repeatedly like this unless your mind and body are in a passive state. All these qualities make Aikido ideal for use in schools and universities. And it's from these places that Tomiki's Aikido has drawn its basic support. In freeform sparring, students can use any techniques they like to defeat each other. A rubber knife stops the risk of injury, but gives the sparring a more lifelike quality. The knife man is always the attacker, the unarmed man, the defender. This was the martial art of the samurai women. It is called naginata, after the name of the weapon that they used. It's similar to the Western halberd. The blade is made from the same steel as the Japanese sword blade. It is a powerful weapon when handled skillfully, almost as effective as a sword, with a longer reach. As always in the martial arts, they practice with wooden weapons. This was not a sport for the samurai women. It was their defense when their homes were attacked. They had the reputation for being ferocious fighters and for dying as bravely as their men. To use the naginata properly, it must be twisted through a half circle, so that the shaft is used almost as much as the bladed end. A series of slashes build up into a potent attack, blows showering down in an arc from above or scything upwards from below. Sawada Sensei shows her mastery of the weapon by the way she wields it, and the ease and precision with which she stops and changes direction. Before 1945, naginata was the usual physical training for girls at school in Japan. After the war, naginata almost disappeared as a result of the American prohibitions. Sawada Sensei, with her colleague Yoshida Sensei, were two of those who led the revival. When the practice of martial arts was permitted again, all the remaining naginata schools combined to develop a modern form. Traditional naginata was the art of cutting. New naginata is the art of striking. Sawada Sensei teaches the classical style in the mornings, but in the afternoon the class turns to the modern combat sport. Sport naginata schools are the most popular women's martial training in Japan today. Besides learning basic techniques, the women test each other's skills in contest. To reduce the chances of injury, the training weapons have been modified. They have a light split bamboo blade on the end of the shaft. Armor covers the main target areas, which are the head, neck, shoulders, forearms, trunk, and shins. The contestants must shout out the name of their target just as they launch an attack, and the judges then decide whether the blow strikes home accurately or not. The evolution of the Japanese martial arts has not been a simple process, because they are so deeply involved with the nation's religion and culture. The martial arts became a way of meditation, a part of Zen Buddhism, and sometimes not even a way of self-defense. These ritualistic strokes with swords could be used for fighting, but that is not the purpose of the practice. These men are concentrating on reaching perfection in their actions. For them, the perfect performance of the ritual is to achieve a state of Zen. This perfection can be expressed in many ways, by calligraphy, or the tea ceremony, or in the martial arts. For many Japanese, this is enough. They are content to perfect their art. However, development was possible. Out of the trance of Zen sword practice came the violent sport of kendo. But it is not just a sport in the Western sense. Within it, there is also philosophy and a way of life. It's because of this complexity that kendo attracts many Westerners to study it. Some give up their settled lives and travel to Japan to practice. This is what Les Denniston did 3 years ago. He left Glasgow and came to Kyoto and supports himself by teaching English. Les performs his solitary exercises on the roof of his flat, completing a